This is Lynn Madajan from Madajan's Herbals, and this is Wisdom from Gran. And tonight we're going to talk about more self-care. Only this time it's going to be self-care with um, intent and herbs. So we have been at this COVID thing for now 6 months. And we are a couple of weeks into school where most of the children are being taught from home by a non-teacher parent. And it is, and so last year, the end of the school year, it was nuts with the stress that the homeschooling was dealing with, both the kids and the parents, and it's starting out a little bit that way now too. So this is what we're going to talk about, is basically that particular series of stressors, that of the school. Now the thing is, what you can do, and when we talk about it, any kind of stress that you're under is going to be the things here on the paper that I've got is it's going to be helpful to your stress. So for the student, how do we make it easier for the students to be taught at home? One is to maintain a schedule. This is living with intent, okay? The intent now is that we all are healthy. We make this as easy as possible and throw some fun in it. And so what we're going to do is maintain a schedule. That means there has to be a bedtime. It isn't like, well, you can stay up late because you don't have to go to school, because you do have to go to school. You have to go to school at the house. Have a scheduled wake-up time. Have serve nutritious meals, keeps their brain firing, and take regular breaks. You can't sit down and study for 8 hours and remember everything that you had at that point in time. Having a dedicated area for study is helpful to the child, because they know that when they're sitting at that dedicated space, that's school. That's what we need to be. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can burn essential oils. If you burn a combination of a couple of oils, lavender or cedar calms stress and help with depression and temper tantrums and all of those things, because it brings calming. If you mix either of those with peppermint or rosemary, that helps the child focus, and it helps them remember what they are, what they're learning. And so that is an added bonus to help make it a little bit easier. For the parents, again, we need to maintain a schedule. So that's the bedtime and the wake-up time and nutritious meals. But also is to schedule self-time, me time. Okay, even if you can only do it for 30 minutes a day, have some me time. And we are going to actually talk about one of the things that you can do during that me time at the end of this presentation. The other thing is maintain your health. Okay, it's easy when you're stressed to get sick, because one of the things that happens when you get stressed is your immune system goes south. So again, essential oils, and it is the lavender, the cedar, the peppermint, the rosemary. You can put 4 thieves on the bottom of your feet, which is an immune builder. There's a lot of different essential oils that you can use in order to stay healthier and happier. And now I want to talk about your adrenals. So your adrenals are 2 glands, they're endocrine glands that produce a variety of hormones, including adrenaline, and steroids, including let me read this one again, aldosterone and cortisol. Now your adrenals are right at the very top of your kidneys. Okay, and there's two different parts to your adrenal glands. The cortex is the outer part of the gland, and that's the part that produces the hormones cortisol and alde. That this word just doesn't make sense to me. Aldosterone. The medulla is the inner part of the gland, and it produces the hormones adrenaline and noradrenaline. These four hormones are essential to a normal functioning body. They control many important functions of your body, including your metabolism, your blood sugar, your blood pressure, your salt water balance, whether or not you can get pregnant, sexual development before and during puberty, and your stress response. Um, the balance of sex hormones, including estrogen and testosterone in your body as well. Now, when your body's immune system responds by revving up when you're under stress. So this is what happens: is we've been 6 months under great stress that peaks and valleys, but still has a lot of hardship on your body. It is, and that is what your adrenals monitor. And if you're continually going up and down and up and down in your stress levels, your adrenal glands get tired. It is, they respond, the adrenals will change the amount of the hormones that they create in order to maintain your body function, and it is part of your fight or flight. It is, and they will increase your blood pressure, increase your heart rate. According to theory, if you have long-term stress, your adrenal glands burn out from prolonged production of cortisol. And that's when you find that you can no longer handle the stress as well as you had before. You are ending up with actual physical medical complaints, and that's not something that we want to have continue here. Okay, so the stresses that kickstart adrenal fatigue, okay, they can be physical, like infections or allergies or food sensitivities, excessive sports like marathon runners. It can be emotional, caused by issues like work pressures, financial or relationship problems, past unresolved trauma and abuse, feeling unworthy, not good enough. It can be chemical, where your liver is overloaded by toxins coming in from prescription drugs, antibiotics, smoke, inhalation, um, chemo, radiation. It can be spiritual, where you feel a lack of purpose or a direction in life. You feel out of control. It can be dietary, a period spent overloading on caffeine, carbs, and high sugar foods. Chronic gut issues like constipation, diarrhea, bloating. Um, any of these can be the trigger that starts the adrenal fatigue and can start you down that road. All right. The very hormones that are meant to give you energy and keep you alive, if you're under threat, can start to compromise your health, and eventually they become depleted. Okay, so I think that probably the vast majority of us right now are suffering from some adrenal fatigue. So the question is, what do we do about it? And what we do is intentional living and adaptogens. Okay, so now intentional living is creating a reason for what you're doing. So when you're cooking dinner and you're stirring whatever it is that you're making for dinner, if you're thinking that this is for your healthy body, this is going to make your everybody in the house that's eating this dinner, it's going to make them healthier and all of the vitamins are going to go to work, and everything is going to do good things for that body. That's intentional living. Okay, when you are sweeping your kitchen floor, if you're sweeping the dust and everything else that's on the floor, and if you're thinking, I'm sweeping the energy clean as well as sweeping the floor clean, that's intentional living. All right, it is, and those are ways that make a big difference. I have a particular salve in the shop. It's called Arnica and Comfrey, and it's for joint and muscle pain. Now, I have been making this salve for 12, 14 years now, and I have had more than once people come into my shop and tell me, you were closed on Sunday and Monday. And I said, well, yes, I'm always closed on Sunday and Monday. And they'll say, I ran out of Arnica. And, you know, okay, I'm sorry. And it says, and then they would tell me something like, so I had to go to another store and get Arnica. And I said, okay. And then they respond by saying, it doesn't work like yours. Well, when I make mine, I'm putting good energy into it, intentional energy. It's not a machine that's just pouring stuff out. I'm putting my energy into it with the hope that this is going to help them feel better, and it's going to help heal any bruising or anything of that nature. So that's intentional. And it works better because that energy has gone into it. And if we put the energy into it, that when we come to it's time to do school, if we go up to that desk thinking, oh, this is going to be terrible, and it's going to be hard, and nobody's going to have any good times, you're right. That's what's going to happen, because that's what you're looking for. But if you come in and you say, hey, today's going to be a great day because we're going to do some fun things, and look at where you can add a little bit of fun in. If you've got a math problem, turn it into a story problem with dragons and fairies or something that helps your little one imagine better. Because if you have 3 fairies and 2 fairies, that's a whole lot more fun to say, how many fairies are there at the party? That's a whole lot more fun than just, okay, what is 3 plus 2? It is, you're introducing fun, you're doing it with intent, and it's going to be just a whole lot easier. Now, adaptogens are herbs. They're a class of herbs, actually, that have been used for centuries to help the body adapt to stress. So, Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic Indian medicine, they have been using these adaptogens for centuries, and they have had a huge impact on it. The term adaptogen was actually first coined by a Russian scientist in 1947. Now, in order to be an adaptogen, it has to have these 4 characteristics. It increases the body's ability to cope with internal and external stresses. They exhibit stimulating effects after both single-time use and prolonged use, leading to increased working capacity and mental performance under stressful and fatigue-inducing conditions. It has to help normalize the functions of the bodies, and they are entirely safe and have no negative side effects. Adaptogens have been touted for their ability to boost strength and vitality, combat fatigue, and treat everything from asthma to infertility. Anything that would have some hormone-related, I don't even know what word I want there. Anything that is affected by hormones is what it will work with. It is, there are a lot of adaptogen herbs that that can help decrease the damage caused by stress. And stress brings on other chronic illnesses. So if you are suffering from a chronic illness, if you use the adaptogens, you may find that that gets a little bit better as well. So the first one, I'm going to talk about a couple of different adaptogens so that you know what they can do. So ashwagandha is probably the one that I sell the most of in the shop. It is, and it is pretty well known at this point in time. It is, there's all kinds of information out on the internet, and talking to naturopathic doctors or herbalists, they'll all talk a lot about ashwagandha. It is, it has a very strong taste, and so it's not, it doesn't taste real good. You can get it in pills or capsules. You can get it in a powder that you can put in a smoothie. You can get it on cut up and sifted so that you can put them in a tea. It has been shown to calm the mind, reduce inflammation, lower blood pressure, enhance the activity of the immune cells, and known as a natural killer natural killer cells that help you fight off infections. It is the only adaptogen proven to enhance the thyroid function, increasing serum concentrations of both T3 and T4. Its anti-inflammatory effects may also help relieve pain associated with rheumatoid and osteoarthritis. It helps the body cope with stress by boosting adrenal function, which is why we're taking it. It is widely used to balance stress hormones, relieve anxiety, and increase energy. That's the one that, like I said, I sell the most of. Now, maca is a root that is, it's unique because it is both an adaptogen and a superfood. It is grown in the Andes, and it is rich in protein, fiber, calcium, magnesium, amino acids such as glycine and arginine. It has been used medicinally for hundreds of years to improve libido, fertility, mood, and symptoms of adrenal fatigue. It is, maca raises hormone production when your body is underproducing the hormones, and lowers hormone production when your body is overproducing the hormones. So that's the part where it helps your body normalize. When used over time, maca nourishes and enhances the function of the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland, which restores balance to the adrenals. Unlike ashwagandha, maca is very tasty and can be used as a food as well as a supplement. It has a nutty butterscotch-like flavor and can easily be mixed into smoothies or baked goods. When you smell it, it really smells sweet and good. Now, ginseng is another adaptogen. The one thing about ginseng that can give you some trouble is the cost of it. Ginseng is very expensive. It is, but chronic stress contributes to inflammation and can trigger many illnesses due to an imbalanced immune response and hormone dysfunction. Ginseng is superior in its ability to significantly reduce chronic stress by regulating the HPA axis, effectively decreasing depression, anxiety, and other disorders. If you are in extreme cases of stress and adrenal fatigue, starting out with ginseng and then moving to a lower cost adaptogen may be something that you want to think about. Studies have demonstrated the potential of ginseng to prevent and reverse a number of inflammatory conditions, including diabetes, heart disease, stroke, osteoporosis, rheumatoid arthritis, and asthma. It also has a neuroprotective effects, which can reduce the risk of Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative diseases. Rhodiola. Now, rhodiola is not as popular as is ashwagandha, But for some reason right now, rhodiola is very hard to get. So I don't even have it in the store. I've got an empty jar that has a rhodiola on it, but it's still not the herb wholesalers aren't having them in right now either. So too much cortisol, which is your primary stress hormone, can deplete your nutrient reserves, impair memory, and have devastating effects on your blood pressure, blood sugar, and metabolism. Rhodiola is an adaptogen that has been proven to reduce the secretion of cortisol during stressful situations. Research shows that rhodiola can increase energy and enhance concentration in those with adrenal fatigue. It also offers antidepressive and cardioprotective effects as well. There's a lot of different rhodiola plants. If you're going to go get one to plant in your yard, Rhodiola rosea is the only one that has the medical benefits. Now, Eleuthero is also, it is not a ginseng, but it is also known as Siberian ginseng. Um, the ginseng people have gotten all unhappy that people are calling it Siberian ginseng. And it's pretty funny because it actually comes from China as opposed to Siberia. But it is probably, of all of the ones that I've got here, it's the least expensive. Okay, it is first used in China as an herbal remedy 2,000 years ago. In addition to helping the body cope with stress, it acts as a stimulant, increases nervous system functioning, and boosting energy levels. It contains compounds that combat fatigue and burn fat for energy. In an exercise study, a daily dose of Eleuthero elevated cardiovascular function and improved endurance in athletes by 23%. So it offers a whole host of other benefits, including enhanced immune function, stabilized blood sugar levels, improved concentration, reduced duration of respiratory infections such as pneumonia and influenza. It can even help you manage menopause symptoms by binding to estrogen receptor sites, thereby decreasing fatigue, insomnia, memory problems, and the loss of strength caused by low estrogen during menopause. Now, again, you can take these in a capsule. You can make a tea out of it. You can make a decoction or a tincture. I think we've made pretty much every one of those at some point during these lives. Um, Again, your mindset makes a big difference when you're taking any action. If you are making tea, make it a ritual. Okay, you know it's because I know tea relaxes me. Simply the act of getting the kettle and putting water in the kettle is the beginning of the ritual of making tea, and I can already feel my stress levels coming down. By the time I'm actually sitting and drinking the tea, it is, I've already started that whole process. It is, so now we're going to talk quickly about your 30 minutes, okay? So your 30 minutes of me time I'm spending with you today. And here is tea. Right now, this is a tea that is made with ashwagandha, which will reduce the stress hormone cortisol in my brain, brahmi, which drains the brain of toxins, cinnamon, which enhances brain function and is an anti-inflammatory, clove, which enhances circulation and digestion, and orange peel, which adds vitamin C. This is a new tea that I made up today, and it is, and I've got it if you want to do your adaptogens like this. Um, it's already at the shop and ready to go. So if you look at the process of making tea, you put your kettle on the stove, and then you need to start thinking about taking some deep breaths and starting the process of relaxing. When you're making tea for medicine, you need to let it steep for 15 minutes. That way you get the medicine. If you steep it less, then you are getting the taste, but you're not getting the medicine. So you want to, during that 15 minutes, you can reflect on your day, you can do some meditation, you can do anything that's going to make you calm down and relax. Now, once the tea is made, you have to put it in a cup. Now, if you look at the cup, and this is the one I chose today, it says, "It's good to be queen." This cup was given to me several years ago by a friend that saw this and thought of me, and I thought that was pretty fun. So if you look at all of your coffee cups, I've got one that says "It's good to be queen." I've got one that says "Goddess." I've got one that says "Witch's Brew," and I've got one that says, with Yoda on it, that says "Judge me by my size, will you?" It is, look at the message that's on the cup. My daughter got a cup that has just the year on it, 2020. But if you look at it, the first zero is very large, so it looks like somebody's being flipped off. The question is, if you're putting food in something that has a message on it, there have been studies, both with rice and with water, um, where they were put in jars with words written on them, and there were some very positive words, and then there were some very ugly words. And the water crystals changed with each word. And the rice ended up getting moldy faster in the words that in the cup, in the bottles with the bad words, and it stayed better longer in the ones with the good words in it. So what we want to do is stack everything in our favor. Okay, we want to keep ourselves healthy so that we don't go nuts during this time. We don't end up having arguments and problems with the people that we live with because we're all so frustrated. Time to take a step back and look at what we can do to make life easier. Because not only are we making life easier on the people around us, we're making life easier for ourselves. And that's what we want to do, is we want to have a good time. I mean, it's living in the present is something that makes your life a little bit happier. And right now it's a little bit hard because it's not happy. There's not happiness surrounding us. So I'm going to drink my cup of tea and get my adaptogens in today. Now, I heard a joke about COVID-19, and they likened it to the freshman 15 in college, that everybody had added a little bit of weight, so that I have added my COVID-19. These adaptogens are also helping with weight loss because it stimulates the hormones and the metabolism to have us let go of weight that we don't need. So there's another good reason to try some of these adaptogens. On Monday, we're going to go back to a food. I'm thinking fried cabbage and kielbasa, because I had that just the other night, and man, that was good. So that might be it, but I'm still open to others as well. If you are somebody that has come in the past to the Witch's Ball, we are not able to do the Witch's Ball this year. So instead, what I thought we would do is we're going to do movie nights. And so there's five Friday nights in October. And I'm going to set up some chat rooms through Messenger chat. And we're going to, we can each watch the movies at our own home and then chat throughout them in the chat room, so we can have fun with that. If you are interested in participating in that, I need to have you send me a note somewhere with what October Halloween movie would you like to watch. So we've got 5 opportunities. It is, let's see if we can come to a consensus on which ones we want to watch. I'm also thinking that we're going to do a pumpkin carving contest where we'll take pictures and post the pictures on it. I don't know what day that'll be yet, so let me get that. I'll get back to you with that, and we'll see. We can make October a fun month even if we can't get together. So take care, and I'm back to the grit and grace thing. I think that we need to dig deep and start living with grit and grace. Okay, courage and compassion. Thank you for joining me tonight. And hey, this tea is still pretty hot, but it's good. I'm drinking it without any sweetener, and it is, and I do like the taste of it. So it's going to be an easy one for me to drink. Take care, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye bye.